This is Tusculum College football, and this is the Jerry Odom Show. The Jerry Odom Show is brought to you in part by your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1947. Sodexo, proud food supplier of Tusculum College. By Creekside Markets, stop in and pick up a Hunt Brothers Pizza today. By Premier Transportation, the official bus provider for Tusculum College Athletics. And brought to you in part by Comcast. The Jerry Odom Show begins now.
Tusculum Pioneers and the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears meet for the 21st time. The series deadlocked at 10. The first meeting, 1924. It's been a while. Hello again, everyone. Brian Stayton for the Jerry Odom Show. I'll be joined by Pioneer coach Jerry Odom coming up. Unfortunately for the Pioneers, like it was back in the 1920s, not a very successful Saturday evening from Pioneer Field. LR Bears getting 256 yards out of one person, massing 356 yards as a team and winning it 23-7. It's a series that can go back to whatever it may be, but it's also two of the youngest teams in the South Atlantic Conference. Coach Keller, coach's son, on the quarterback position, and Jared Keller just riding the bus, doing enough to knock off the Tusculum Pioneers. And for Coach Jerry Odom, very displeased with the way his Pioneers played last year, called it putrid. This season, I don't know if it was any better as far as their offense was concerned. And be honest, there's a team for the Pioneers that has 32 points per game that their average through their first 4 games this year were held to just 7. Let's take a look at some of it. Nelson Brown last year for the Bears ran for 261. This year he runs for 256 on 30 carries, 2 touchdowns as the Bears beat Tusculum 23-7. Brown nearly matching his career high last year against the Pioneers. The Bears racked up 356 offensively, which what does that tell you? Less is more. One guy doing one job. Tusculum was held to just 257 yards, 49 of that rushing, but again, some of that taken off because of the sacks against Alex Ogle. LR forced a pair of Tusculum turnovers, both resulting into scores for the visitors, taking the short field to score. Alex Ogle went 21 of 33, just 208 yards with a touchdown and a pick while being sacked 3 times. Evan Gates had a great game, career highs with 11 catches, 118 yards. The Bears jumped out quickly as Maxwell Joseph fumbles the opening play of the game. They were held to a field goal attempt in which they made. Malik Goodman led all players, 11 tackles. Lakeith Brown had 8. And D. Alford accounted for 4 tackles, 2 pass breakups, and a team-leading 3rd interception of the season. Tusculum has 16 takeaways this year. Alford has been involved with 7 of them. But for the 21st meeting, LR gets the 11th win in the series. And they've also won now 5 consecutive games against the Tusculum Pioneers. It'll be a long road to Hickory, North Carolina next year when the Pioneers try to end that losing skid. No doubt we'll be at the home of night football, another night contest, and will it be a Bear celebration? It will no doubtedly be the celebration of a lot of the players who played this year, because 2 of the youngest teams squared off this past Saturday. They'll do it again sometime next Saturday as well. When we come back, Pioneer coach Jerry Odom breaks down the Tusculum LR showdown. That's when the Jerry Odom Show continues.
Your Greenville Light and Power System and electrical distributor of TVA, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Your Greenville Light and Power is dedicated to excellence in service and reliability. Visit online at glps.net.
We welcome you back into the Jerry Odom Show. The Tusculum Pioneers fall to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, joined by Pioneer coach Jerry Odom. Not happy with the outcome with the game, and really I think afterwards the sentiment was, it's not like as if we didn't know what was coming. We just didn't play, to our very high potential.
Well, I think it's preparation. I told the guys I was a little worried about it. You can't say that publicly, but we didn't prepare very well last week. I think 2 days we struggled in our preparation, and I tell them, Tuesday through Thursday has to be the best prep days of the year. You know what I mean? We have to be the best prepared team of the year. And I said, you got 2 choices. It's called the pain of preparation or the pain of regret. And I said, because we didn't get ready, we're going to have the pain of regret another year for these guys, because I don't think they're a better football team than us, but they play better than us the last 2 years. I mean, there's no other way to say it. And, I think the game could have been a little different, hopefully, with the kicking game. If it was 16-13 going in the fourth quarter, it may have been a different ball game. But we made too many mistakes. You can't give a good running back, 35 runs, you hold him 70 yards, and then you got, 4 runs and he gets 170 yards. It can't happen, 180 yards. It can't happen. And it wasn't like we didn't know they're going to run the power. Out of 21 personnel, it's power pass, and the power pass was limited. Okay? Out of 3rd and 10 personnel, which is 4 wide receivers, we knew they were 60-40 run to pass, and I knew they were going to put the quarterback in a bad situation on 3rd and 14, so I run blitz twice, and we just get out of gap. And as a head coach, as a D coordinator, that's very, very frustrating, because we haven't done that all year. That's the one thing I'm disappointed in, is we really have done a better job of getting off the field. But they were 9 of 15, and then when you look at the 9 of 15, one time we line up off sides on a press. Now, I will say, both of their guys weren't on the ball, so it really should have been an offsetting penalty situation. But 3rd and 5 should have been off the field. We busted coverage on one. That's another one. We have another penalty. 2 penalties, 5 runs where we don't play it correctly. And then they only completed 2 balls, so they complete 2 balls, you can live with that, okay? But when the runs come and you blitz into the run, or you're trying to blitz for the run, and it's going to be draw or zone, one or the other, and it's going to be zone away from where he sets. We talked about it all week, and we don't do it. It's awful frustrating for me, and it's been a lot of sleepless nights since because of that, honestly. And then you look at us offensively, you look at it. We were running the ball early well, I thought. 6, 7, 4, 6. I mean, we're doing a pretty good job. But what happens is when you get behind, now you got to be able to throw the ball. And then if you look, the 3 sacks, we had 48 yards. You had 14, 13, and 12. So it's 42 yards in sacks. And now all of a sudden it doesn't look like you've done anything running the ball. Those 20 rushes, for 59 yards or 62 yards look awful bad. 20 rushes for 115 yards or 110 yards looks like you're getting 5 yards a pop. And we've got to do a better job of staying on the field on 3rd down. We got to put ourselves in, and it's rough right now because our offensive line hadn't been protecting real well, and we're beat up there a little bit, obviously. And we get a couple guys back, so hopefully that'll change some things. But I told Brian and I sat down, and we've got to find ways to get some explosion plays, whether it's a formation, whether it's a new look, whatever the case may be. We got to find a way to get some explosion plays, because if we do that, we still gave 23 points up and played, honestly, one of our worst games, I thought, defensively. And, my thing is, if you get us 21 points, we got a shot to win the game. And now this week, we're playing a pretty good scoring team. They got some dudes over there at Mars Hill on offense, so we're going to need our offense to step up a little bit more. But it's a great challenge for us. But, still coming home. We got to just play better at home. It's disappointing. We played so well against Shorter coming out. Looks like the black jerseys are going to go away for a little bit. The old blackout was a complete failure for Coach Odom. I think I was the only person that blacked out after the game. But at the end of the day, I think it's one of those learning situations that we got to play better. We got to prepare better. Our coaches got to be accountable. We have to be accountable to each other. It all comes down to that. And really, like I said during the game, it's my fault. Buck stops with me. It always will. As long as I'm here, it always will. When we lose, it is my fault. And my wife beats me up on it because she doesn't think I should feel that way. But it's just who I am and how I roll. And it's my job to get it fixed. And I think that's what you got to say. If I'm going to hold my kids accountable, then I have to have some accountability also.
Well, in case you missed any of it, let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights. Tusculum versus the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. Again, it was the 21st meeting between these two schools. It's the schools evened up as far as the series was concerned at 10 games apiece coming into this one. And last year, the LR Bears successful, 31-3. And I think this year, this is a Tusculum team that was looking for a little bit of redemption and a little bit of revenge. And we started out offensively, and what Coach Odom was talking about, Renzo Pratt for 15 yards. You've got another 4-yard run. You've got some positive gains right off the bat in this contest.
Yeah, come out and run the split zone. Lorenzo's probably a hair away from going to the house with that one, and he's playing really well. He probably should be our starter right now, and still play Maxwell and some, and Shippey and some of those guys, but he's playing really, really well right now. But come out, really do a nice job. Probably could have cut that back a little bit quicker. Don't get a whole lot of push there because they really spiked the B gap with their defensive end right there against an outside zone, which is a hard thing to block sometimes. But, you know, I thought we started out pretty well, and then we kind of bogged down. We can't get a penalty. Like I said, throw the ball out here in the flat. They don't take it. Again, you know, get a 12, 13, just efficient football. You know what I mean? Running the ball, throwing it well. So we're, you know, moving right down the field, and then, you know, you get a dumb play or a penalty or whatever the case may be, and we've got to learn to take advantage of these situations right here. You know, not a lot there, but it looks like you got about 5 yards at the end of the day, you know, so you're 2nd and 5, and that's not bad. You always want to stay ahead of the chains. That's pretty good. Come out with a 12 personnel package, change something at the line of scrimmage right here, and come out, throw the ball. Stick Lorenzo really should have thrown the ball probably to the tight end there. We were hoping that because they blitzed, you know, so we lost a yard right there. With the blitz, if he had hit the tight end, he might still be running. But in his progression, he actually threw the right thing off the progression that we gave him. So you really can't fault him for that. Come back out here, throw a nice curl route. You know, I'd like to see him get vertical right now. He always trying to get across the field, but now we're at the 27-yard line. It looks like we know what we're doing, right? You know, right now. You know, we're playing good offense, and they didn't really do anything defensively that we didn't think they were going to do.
I noticed in the game, LR always adjusts. Was it causing some issues with Ogle with what he was trying to read and what he was trying to see?
Well, they were just spinning. They were a cover 3 team, and they were spinning different ways and stuff like that. But we come back out, run the power for 5. Right. You know, go weak side, kind of break a tendency off of that. And you know, like I said, I thought, you know, right here, we get penetration, or the cutback he just scored. You can see the cutback is wide open right there, and that kind of cost us because we lose about a half a yard right there, and now we're 3rd and, you know, 6, 7. It's still manageable. I mean, it's still a doable thing. Throw it right here, and we get rerouted right at the point of the route, and we get no kind of call there, nothing. Ball in the air. That was a tough one. So we come out here, try a 40-yard field goal, and it's a whiff, you know, it's a miss, and that's huge because we come out, we turn the ball over on that first one, stop them, it's cold, they kick the field goal, and we come down and have a nice drive and, you know, don't get the field goal.
You're not worried about their passing game, especially when you have somebody like D. Alford?
No, D. Alford's playing really, really good for us at corner. We got Cameron Gurgley now, too, to go with them. We feel like we got 3 really good corners, and we'll need those guys this week ready to go. But D's playing very, very well. He's tackling well. He's flying to the ball. He's doing the right things, and he's such a good kid that you know. And he's only a true sophomore, so we have him 2 more years after this. And that's what I'm saying. We're still a young football team. People forget that because they see a lot of the same faces. Those faces were true freshmen last year a lot of times.
Lots of times last week against Pembroke, you get a turnover, you're going to result that into a touchdown or at least a score, and things look good on the first play.
Yeah, great call by Brian. Alex throws this route well. This is a hard route to throw for not everybody has that kind of arm that can throw it, but it's a little route. And then we come back and we're trying to run a little counter off of this because we've been running the ISO, you know, out of that set. So try to give them a different look. Didn't get much there, about 2 yards. But we're still on the 40-yard line. We're in a good situation here. I believe right here, come back, probably should, you know, tries to throw a crossing route and hit him in the hands. I mean, it's a catchable ball. Chavis probably needs to catch that ball. He wouldn't have got much more, but it hit him right where he needed to be.
But they called an ineligible downfield. Was that one of
our
receivers?
They said our receiver covered, one of our young receivers covered somebody up. And then they get the sacks. And now instead of being at the 40-yard line having a chance to, you know, kick a field goal or put ourselves in position to score again, now we're kind of backing ourselves up. So we get sacked right there, come back, throw the ball, and we drop it. You know, I mean, so I might have gone for it right here if he'd have caught the ball, but you know, we dropped the ball, and you know, that's the thing. You know, people are like, "Oh, Alex didn't play great." He, you know, he played just fine. I mean, really, for the most part. I mean, he thinks he could do better. This is the third down that you want to lose your mind on in the run blitz that we had. Our safety whiffs right there. So they get a 50-yard run, and this is really kind of, where they start moving the ball on us a little bit. Then they come back in the 3-by-1. They're going to run a zone read RPO right here around the corner. For whatever reason, our safety doesn't come. Malik Goodman's is our best DB in knowing his assignments and doing the little things right and all that, and he just didn't play very well, and that's unusual for him. And when him and probably like Keith may have played their worst games, and when those guys who've been your steady Eddies the whole time, like Keith's supposed to have the guy man-to-man all the way, you're just not looking at him. If he takes him, we're going to get a sack. And we worked on that exact play, coming out. So that part's a little frustrating. And then here, where we know they love the power and bear, and you'll see it. Like you can't really see it unless you're in the end zone. He overruns it right there. Safety fast in the backside because we're playing quarters, and so the guy breaks a 90. So in 2 plays, you give him a 91-yard run and a 50-something yard run. Now I will say this: the ball was out. The ball was definitely out, and they gave him down. That was another one that would have been a great hustle play, by the
Tompkins game.
Yeah, Tompkins.
From nowhere.
Well, he's just playing good. He's playing good football right now. So our corners are playing well. We need our safeties to play a little bit better, or at least more consistent. They're both talented. So now we're down, 14 points right here, and come back out. Good job throwing the ball. I mean, we're just throwing some. When you're playing cover 3, you're getting some curl flat concepts and some slant curl concepts and things like that. Come out in the bunt, try to run the pin pull. We don't get the tackle out right here. We haven't had a whole lot of luck with that. I told Ferg we rethink a few of those. But Ferg's called good games all year. I mean, I don't think he called a bad game yet. This to me is pass interference. You got to look for the ball. You get hit before the ball gets there. This was definitely one that we were not happy about.
Right.
Because you're supposed to be looking for the ball. Come back out. We throw a little screen here to Pratt, and Pratt kind of makes one guy miss and gets the first down. It's about a 15-yard play right there. We got to get him more involved in the passing game. We'll probably see some empties, some different things with him. He can really catch the ball too. Throw the slant, again, like we just had to throw a quick game and this is a great drive right
it's
before
awesome
the half.
drive.
I mean, this is awesome. 2-minute drill. We work this every Thursday, good on good, with 2 different scenarios. And I think Alex and the offense did a great job. I had 2 timeouts. I used one of them to kind of settle us down, but the other one they spiked the ball, and I thought I was really, really happy on where we were. Take a deep shot right here, just miss. That's fine. Got no problem with that. It's one of the things we talked about. The one you're going to see that's frustrating, I'll show you here in a minute. We run the wrong route. Come back, good catch right there. Looks like Rodnell with a really nice catch right there. Come back, spike the ball right here. We thought we were going to get what we had right here on a touchdown, and we did. I believe this is the one. Got the bender right here, and he throws. This is a dime. It's a great catch, great throw, great route. That's how you throw the football right there. So real happy with that, and then I'm saying, okay, we're at 16-7 going into half. We're going to get this thing fixed, and I feel like we came out with a little juice in the second half.
I think definitely for this Pioneer defense, it took you just a second to settle in. They got a couple of penalties, a big passing play that they hadn't had, and then all of a sudden you guys are different, especially on defense through at least the third quarter.
Well, we weren't different. We were us.
Yeah.
That first second quarter, we weren't us. That's
right.
What I told them. I said, we're not playing like us. We got to play fast. We got to get a lot of hats to the ball. We're not getting 11 hats to the ball. We're not doing little things. Great job on the reverse. You see, guys, we're not fooled. They're going the right way. They're doing what we want them to do. You ain't go down a third down here. I thought we were going to get a draw, so I called a blitz right here that would fit up the draw, hit it for a loss. I mean, the guys are into it. They're getting fired up. They're starting to see, hey, we just got to go out here and play and do what we do. It's not what they're doing. It's more about us. So we come back the second, didn't get much out of that series. Come back the second series, they try to run the ball again. Great job. I mean, you see, when we played it right, it was,
it was a loss.
It's a loss. That's right. When we played it the way we were supposed to play it, it was a loss. Come back with a bootleg. Who they got open here? I mean, there's not a soul open. everybody's covered. Hell, they completed for a 2-yard loss.
Well, yeah, why they even completed it.
Yeah. So then we come back with 3rd down here, empty. You know, we come after him again. Great break by Jay Boyd. Again, where did I tell you they're going to throw the ball? If they want to go deep, they're going to work in the boundary. So I had Jay eyeballing the boundary a little bit more of the field off of that. Makes a great break. We get it back to the 45-yard line, I guess, or 46-yard line, something of that nature. And now all of a sudden we're cooking with gas. We're back in the game. There's a little juice. The stadium's into it. I appreciate everybody that came out too. We didn't play very good, but I do appreciate
That's a good crowd.
It's a great crowd. And don't give up on us. We're going to get this thing right, I promise.
This is the type of drive I figured that we would have after an interception. Still 16-7 here, 3rd quarter, all the momentum for you. You take this shot, and Rodney, I think, being held on the way down.
Might have been. But, hey, I'm okay with taking a shot on 1st down. You know what I mean? Every now and then you got to loosen those guys up. They come back with a blitz, they throw away from it, hit the slant again. Very nice throw and catch for a 1st down. We're kind of going fast now. We kind of got our tempo going right here, and doing some different things, whether it be 3-step or zone. Come back, hit the 3-step again, just throw it out in the flat. They miss a tackle. All of a sudden, we get about a 6-7 yard gain. So we're kind of working our way down the field. And at this point, I think, hey, we're going to win this game. We're going to get these things straight. We're going to come back and really play like we played the last 3 quarters. Good cut back right there. I thought we got kind of a bad spot right there. I thought we had the 1st down, but able to put the big boys in. Maxwell gets in there, hits it vertical, kind of got him back into the game. He's such a good kid that he's really bummed, like he thought he hurt the team, when he fumbled, and it really bothered him. And I'd rather have it bother him than they don't care at all.
Right.
And come back out, throw that same little screen right out here to Pratt. It's a little flare screen for about 6. So basically a little running play, but you're blocking down the field. Stuff with that right here. This one a little bit tough because they beat us inside, and if our tight end does a better job holding the anchor point right there, probably score with Pratt. But come back right here.
There's good penetration here by LR.
Well, it's 3rd, but I mean,
1st and goal.
Boney's got to know what the situation is. He's got to know that's his gap. That's what I told him. I said, Boney, you got to see that guy coming. Go in there, cut him. Just get him on the ground, help us out. So 2nd and long, come in here, right here. Alex trying to throw this one away. I told him, if you're going to throw it away, get it out of bounds, my friend. Okay, come out 10 personnel now. What you're going to see is we're supposed to run a flat route right there, and if we run a flat route, we probably score. And that's what caused it. And then you come out, and I'm like, okay, 6-point game. Let's kick an extra point type field goal. I'm seeing a lot of push right there. It's just a terrible kick. I mean, there's no other way to say it. We're having tryouts, folks. I'm having people come over. I'm having a couple soccer guys that are going to try out, and we're going to get this right. There's somebody on this campus that can help us kick. We're going to find them.
LR did not capitalize. They would have to punt the ball away. You have it from your own 10. Guy that burst onto the scene last week, Gary Brooklander, comes up with a 13-yard play here.
Yeah, wow, boy. I wish you could have gotten a little. If we'd have gotten just a little quicker to it, we might have gone 20 or 30 more right there. But it's a good job, and this is just a bad read by Alex. And this is the one bad read I thought he made. He's reading the flat defender. That guy's in the leverage point behind him. Always take the guy in the flat. You know what I mean? And he's been doing that all night. That was a big play. But then we get him to 3rd down. We get him all the way to 3rd and 10, and we give up another run on a run blitz. See, right here you're seeing Jay Boyd's supposed to be down on this. We get knocked back too far, but Jay just misses.
Yeah.
And you can see where our safety right there needs to probably gator rolling, But we don't get the guy, and we've been doing this all year. This is not hard.
Right.
This is not something that we find that's difficult. But it was difficult the other night for whatever reason. And I told the kids, I said, it's either pain of preparation or pain of regret. Which one would you rather have? 2 hours on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and go hard and be into it and smart and playing smart? Or you're going to regret this for a whole year like I am, you know? Because, that team, I don't think was better than us, but they played better than us that night. And give Coach Keller and all his assistants all the credit in the world. They beat us, And, we'll have to live with that for another year. And I struggle with that. I'm not good when we play. I don't mind losing to a team that I think we competed with and we busted our behinds and we fought and scrapped. I think that we didn't do that. And I think that's not the type of team I'm going to put out there to represent Tusculum football. That's just not who I am. It's not what I'm going to do, and we're going to make some changes. We're accountable to each other. I told them that. I said, it's my fault. I didn't get you guys prepared. But they've got to be accountable to me, and I got to be accountable to them. It's always going to be like that as long as I'm here. You know, we're not going to sit down and feel sorry for ourselves. We're going to go back to work, and we got to get ready for a good Marshall's team.
Two of the youngest teams in the South Atlantic Conference just played last Saturday, so these two guys could see each other for a couple of years still to come. Tusculum Pioneers fall to the Bears this past Saturday. When Coach Odom comes back, we'll talk a little bit about Tim Clifton's Mars Hill Lions. That's when we continue with more of the Jerry Odom Show.
Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo proudly serves Tusculum College and supports Pioneer football. Sodexo, making every day a better day. Premier Transportation. From the moment you step onto any of the motor coaches, it's clear they pay attention to details. They make sure you have the top-of-the-line amenities, the industry's most innovative technology, and the most advanced safety features to ensure every mile of your journey is a smooth one from coast to coast. The Premier Fleet. Escape the ordinary. The journey is half the fun. Premier Transportation, the official bus provider for Tusculum College Athletics.
Welcome back into the Jerry Odom Show. The Tusculum Pioneers fall to the LR Bears by a final of 23-7 this past Saturday. Let's take a look at some of our players who made big impacts in the game. And we'll start on offense with Evan Gates, the senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Can't believe I said senior. Not a lot of those on this team. The senior out of Davidson Day High School, a career high with 11 catches, 118 yards, a touchdown, and a long of 17. On the year now, Evan Gates, 26 catches, 318 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Our other impact player of the game was a guy who has made an impact all year, D. Alford, young sophomore from Griffin, Georgia, out of Spalding High School. Finished the game with just 4 tackles, 2 pass breakups, and an interception. On the season now, 25 tackles and 3 interceptions. And for the Pioneers, of their 16 takeaways this season, Alford, again, has been involved with just 7 of them. As a matter of fact, D. Alford has made such an impact on the season, we highlighted him with our play of the game.
Huff will go in motion across the formation, play action, looking to go deep, and they've got a man out there. It's going to be picked off. Are you kidding me? Is D. Alford the biggest ball hawk on this in the country right now?
Let's take a look at the final numbers. LR had just 16 first downs to the Pioneers' 17, rushing 262 for LR. Again, 256 from Nelson Brown. 49 for the Pioneers. They lost some yards due to sacks as well. Passing-wise, LR 94, Alex Ogle 208. And total offense, 356 for LR, 257 for the Tusculum Pioneers. They averaged 4.5 yards per play, just 5.5 for the LR Bears. The issue is Tusculum had no offensive explosive plays or plays over 20 yards in the game. LR, Nelson Brown, had more. As a matter of fact, look at what Nelson Brown did for the day. He had 256 yards rushing. Tusculum had just 257 yards of total offense. He had 2 touchdowns. Tusculum had just 1. Nelson Brown, one-man wrecking crew. Less is more. Possession time, LR with 31-53, Tusculum 28-07. On third downs, LR came in converting 48% of the time on the year. Folks, they converted 3rd and 14, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 7. They went 9 of 15 for the day. Tusculum goes 4 of 12 on the afternoon. By far not the best performance by the Pioneers. Look to correct that this week against one of the best offenses, not only in the league, but in the nation. It's Mars Hill, the Lions, come this Saturday. We'll talk about that with Jerry Odom when the Jerry Odom Show continues.
Creekside Market has 3 locations in southern Greene County to serve. So while you're traveling to or from any game, stop by and pick up a Hunt Brothers Pizza for those football Friday nights or Saturday afternoons. Creekside Market just off the 107. Locations on the Asheville Highway, Camp Creek, and the Irwin Highway. Creekside Markets in Greene County.
Let me welcome you back into the Jerry Odom Show. Tusculum gets set to take on the Mars Hill Lions. It's a cancer awareness game this Saturday night, 6 o'clock under the lights for the Pioneers, who will do away with the blackout, at least for this week. It's a Mars Hill team always. You've got one of the best wide receivers that there could probably be in the league, and Rucker. You go back all the way to Rod DeWalt back in 2002, 2003. Seems like every year they've always had that. They've always had that running back. They are the only school that has the Harlan Hill Trophy winner in Randolph just a few years ago who won that. They've got that guy. Seems like they always have a quarterback. Mark Rick's son was just there just a few years ago, and they've got that guy, that trigger man that can spin it. Defensively, they're everywhere possible, but they're athletic. They run everywhere. How disciplined does your team have to be this week?
Well, I think, they're two receivers, and like what you look at them with is they are very athletic at wide receiver and running back defensively. If we're going to start defensively, the number 1 and number 2, Rucker, and number 1 may be better than anybody in our league. Yeah. He's unbelievable, and he's a threat anywhere on the field. So we'll have to do some different things to him. But you can't leave, like we'll probably play more nickel this week in certain situations, trying to get matchup Cameron Gurgley on, maybe as a nickel guy, take our Sam linebacker out. So just do some different things. Because Cam's a good enough tackler, he can do both. We can bracket, we can do some different things there. But we've got to win up front. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. If you go back and look at last year, when we tackled, that game we started off really slow, if I remember right. And we tackled really poorly early on the big running back they got. But once we started tackling, things got better. Now, they were playing with the kid that's the backup last year, and he's more of a zone read, RPO type guy. The guy that got started now, 7, is much more of a he's more of a thrower first, but he can throw an RPO. I'm pretty sure I played him when he was at Campbell. He was with the quarterback that played at Campbell when I was at JU. He played a little bit against us, so he back in 2014 and 15. So he's a transfer senior. Guy's played a lot of football. Not super athletic, I mean, if you get around him, you can hit him. You can hit him, you can sack him. Couple different protection things that I'm figuring out right now. We'll have to be aggressive in certain situations. We'll have to drop 8 in certain situations. We'll maybe even drop 9 in certain. We'll have to bracket. We'll have to play some 2-man. We'll have to throw a lot of different coverage concepts to take care of those guys. And then at some point, our guys are going to have to make some plays. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And we're going to have to take that challenge. Our secondary's got to take that challenge. Is, hey, you're playing, to me, the best we've played so far. North Greenville was okay. They were close. They had the big kid. They don't really have anybody big, but as far as precision routes, nobody's going to run it better than 1 and 2. They're not very big, but they're going to run good routes. They're, the coaches' concepts at Mars Hill make sense. They have good concepts. Now, the one thing about them, though, is when you're breaking them down, it's like one game they come out and they're like 21 personnel in New York Giants. The next game they're in 5 wides, for the whole game. So it's like the offense of the week. We just got to have to figure out. We're going to have to go through all the breakdowns, figure out what they may try to do against us, figure out what the offense of the week is. If they look at the, I don't know. If they look at last week, they may try to run it down our throat. Who knows? And then play action over the top. But we got a plan for that. At the end of the day, it's really about us. It's how good we're going to play and come out and compete. And if we do that, we'll be fine. You look on the other side of the ball. Defensively, they're a 4-3 quarters team, which we see a lot. We feel good about what they do. They're going to do some different things, 3-by-1, a couple different ways. They're going to play the backside. We've got to take advantage of certain things that they do there. We got to take advantage of empty. We got to take advantage of our 12-13 package. We got to throw some new wrinkles out. And you got to do a little bit of everything when you're struggling a little bit on offense, like we did last week. And then I think the biggest thing too is up front they're big, but they don't move like maybe what we've seen from that we see every day with us or even Limestone. They're big dudes. They're all really big. So we're gonna have to do a great job on the zone plays and things like that of trying to get some guys out of gap and get them cut down and create new seams for our running backs. But I think consistency is really what it comes down to in offense. I think our guys. Last week, honestly, I thought our offense prepared better than our defense. I wasn't near as mad as them on Tuesday through Thursday as it was at our defense. Now, I'm a defensive guy, but I think sometimes offenses can go through that progression with a little bit of juice and still see it all because it's that offensive mentality. I don't think you can play defense without enthusiasm. I don't care whether you're playing tiddlywinks or on defense or you're playing checkers. You better be good at checkers on defense. You better be enthusiastic about it. And I told our coaches, the thing I know about enthusiasm is caught. It's not taught. If we want them to be enthusiastic, we got to come out and be enthusiastic. Yeah. We got to put this behind us and go out and put the plan in and be fired up about the plan and sell them on the plan. And this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to take these things away, and then convince them, hey, you guys can do this. This is your deal. So we've got a great challenge ahead of us. I love challenges like this. I felt like our guys will be ready for it. We'll change some things around, like I said, but a lot of it has to do with their personnel, so we've got to get the personnel right. We had a couple of issues with that last week, but they're a big personnel-based team. 21, they're going to do certain things. 11, they're going to do certain things. If they come out in 5 wides, they're going to do certain things. They do what they do, and it's important for us to have a plan to each one of those things, and your down and distance, and where you move in the field zones, because that's really coordinators change as they go up and down the field a lot of times. They could be 5 wides coming out. They're going to throw a quick game. If they're 5 wides in the middle of the field, they may throw a little bit more down the field pass. There's all kind of things that you got to look at, and that's where it comes down to studying. People probably don't know this, but I know Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday night I studied till 12, and then Thursday night 9:30. That's kind of a waste of my time of what we did last week and how we played. But I think not a lot of people know that you study because it's like a test, and the difference between it is if you get the test wrong, you get beat, and it's on a scoreboard, and there it is for everybody to see. And it's embarrassing. That's why I was so angry last week, because it was embarrassing because I knew exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to try to do it, and for us not to go out and execute it means I knew it, but I didn't do a good enough job teaching what I needed to get done for my guys and how they needed to handle it. And that's where it comes back to me. It doesn't matter how much I know; it's how much they know and how they can accept coaching and how much they can know during the game plan and run out of the field successfully. And we didn't have enough of those things. I thought first and second down, other than that 191-yard run where we just busted, we played pretty good on first and second down. You take that one away. You look, they were averaging 2.13 yards per play on first and second down. Right. But on third down, their average was 9.7 yards per play. That's the money down. That's when you want to get off the field. And we've been pretty good at that the last couple of weeks, getting off the field. But 9 of 15, give me a break. That's awful, and that's why we lost the game. I'll say it anyway. Everybody says something about the offense. Listen, if we're at 16-13 going in the fourth quarter, we can kick a dadgum field goal, and we're in the game 16-13, it's anybody's ball game at that point. And because the way Ferg was going to call the games different, the way they're going to call the games different, it's just going to be different. But when, we may not have had to throw the ball almost every down. We could have kept patient because we're only down 3 points. You know what I mean? Now, for us, it might have been we might be playing arena football. We might be going for it every 4th down from here on out. I don't know. But anyway, I think those are things that we have to address this week as a coaching staff and get right. And we got to get it right. And there's no other way to say it. And like I said, we're having a couple little tryout tomorrow, or not a tryout, but just we're hitting all if you played soccer, girls or guys, I don't care. We might make some history. If she can boot it, she's in. Right. I don't care. I'm not. I'm certainly not a guy that cares about gender. As long as you can kick that thing through the uprights, I'll be a happy camper.
The Tusculum Pioneers and the Mars Hill Lions on Saturday night. Last year, the Pioneers ended the season winners of 3 of 4. That one game came down to one play. It was a overtime loss for the Pioneers against these Mars Hill Lions. So come join us Saturday. It should be outstanding. Come early, tailgate, and get ready for the game, which kicks off at 6 o'clock. Tusculum and Mars Hill on the Pioneer Sports Network. Back on that. Appreciate the TV guys coming from Asheville last week, showing some good shots. But we're back on with that, beginning with our Pioneer kickoff show at 5 o'clock, our kickoff at 6, back here on the Pioneer Sports Network. For everybody involved with the Jerry Odom Show, for the coach, Coach O, or Coach Nathan Humbert as well, I'm Brian Stayton. And until Saturday kickoff, Brian Stayton wishing Pioneer Nation a great week.
This has been the Jerry Odom Show. The Jerry Odom Show is brought to you in part by Your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1947. Sodexo, proud food supplier of Tusculum College. By Creekside Markets, stop in and pick up a Hunt Brothers pizza today. By Premier Transportation, the official bus provider for Tusculum College Athletics. And brought to you in part by Comcast. Join us next time for more Pioneer football on the Jerry Odom Show.